It's Election Day in America. Polls have closed, and ABC News projects that Democrats can count wins in two key races, an abortion rights measure in Ohio and the governor's race in Kentucky. But some of those in charge of ensuring our votes get cast and counted say they fear for their lives in an increasingly divisive political climate. Part of our series, Your Voice, Your Vote, 1 year out. Election workers under threat.
And in Michigan, an open carry state, a judge ruling guns are allowed at polling places.
The keepers of our democracy facing harassment.
Election officials are warning right now of urgent security concerns.
Some getting death threats, all for just doing their jobs. Across the country, this largely mundane role has now become a sometimes dangerous one. Some having to go to great lengths, like wearing bulletproof vests to keep themselves safe.
I wear one pretty much every single day.
And investing millions in plexiglass, security cameras, and other safety measures.
People are very distrustful. People are almost mean. We get a lot of accusations hurled at us.
We are preparing for the worst possible scenario.
Romilda Crocomo is the county manager in Luzerne County, Pennsylvania.
If we have an event at a polling location, we have a plan for them to be able to go to a different site and vote. We've worked with the district attorney, our sheriff's department, our county detectives, our emergency management, 911. We're all ready in case something happens.
What's happening in this swing county of over 300,000 people is also playing out across America. The high alert environment could be a sign of things to come in 2024.
Elections were under siege in 2020, and I have high concern about 2024.
It could happen again.
It could happen again.
In Luzerne County, today is their test run.
So it's just about 5:30 here in the morning, Luzerne County, Pennsylvania.
And Logan Buglio is already hitting the ground running.
I recruited my two sisters, so we're just about ready to leave the house, go over to the polling place, set up, and be ready for 7 o'clock when the voters come.
He's one of hundreds of thousands of election workers across the country getting ready for an almost 20-hour day so that voters can cast their ballots today.
As an officer of election.
As an officer of election.
That's a commitment that needs to be made to keep elections on the right track and allow your neighbors to come in and vote.
Luzerne is still reeling from the last presidential election.
It has been a very chaotic several years. It's just been one crazy moment after the next.
Emily Cook is the county's deputy director of elections. At just 26 years old, she's among the most senior members of her department.
We do have a frequently revolving door within the elections office. It's pretty reflective of what election offices across the country are looking like post-2020. A lot of that is due to the climate that we're in now in relation to elections, which I can tell you firsthand is hostile.
Last year during the midterm elections, when Cook was on the job for just 2 months, polling locations in the county were running low on paper ballots. The shortage corrected later that day. Turned out to be an administrative oversight by a new team. But conspiracy theories spread like wildfire.
I did start receiving death threats, sitting in a room with detectives and the sheriff and being told there are people that want you to die. There are people that are saying you should be drawn and quartered.
Emily says the experience has left her forever changed.
I'm a lot more hesitant to go really anywhere by myself, just because you don't know who's out there. What keeps me up at night is not knowing if somebody's threatening me and then going to do something to members of my family. That is definitely one of the things that is part of my recurring nightmares relating to this job.
According to a survey by the Brennan Center for Justice, nearly 3 in 4 election officials feel that threats against them have gone up in recent years. And 30% say they have personally been abused, harassed, or threatened because of their job.
What changed in America that became fashionable to attack
election workers?
We have leaders falsely saying the system is rigged. They're promoting claims that are untrue about the way the system works.
When I hear you say leaders, I hear you say Donald Trump. Is that who you're referring to?
There's no question Donald Trump is part of this, and I do have concerns that we're going into a season where he is on trial. So all of the stuff that we've heard about what happened in 2020 is going to be brought up again. He's not acting alone, and if he was the only one who was saying this, I don't think it would get the same traction that it's gotten.
The harassment so pervasive, the Department of Justice launched a task force to look into the threats in 2021, so far resulting in 9 convictions. Back in Luzerne, Ramilda Crocomo says she won't allow anything to happen on her watch.
No one is going to be able to abuse our election workers. They're our neighbors. They're the people who sit next to you in church. They're the ones who are at your Little League games. And I am not going to let anyone do anything to put them in harm's way.
Despite this heightened threat environment, experts say there is a silver lining.
We're better prepared than we were in 2020. Over the past few years, there's been an infrastructure that has been built. There's something called the Committee for Safe and Secure Elections, which is a cooperation committee between law enforcement and election officials.
A number of people across the country have lost faith in our election process. What can you say here now to reassure them that our process, while not perfect, is still functional?
The thing that people aren't aware of in our system is how many checks there are along the way. You have Republicans and Democrats, not only present when people are voting, but present in the counting, present when the ballots are being ordered, when we're checking over the ballots to make sure that it's designed correctly, checking signatures. All of that is done in a bipartisan way in this country.
While many election workers have left since 2020, some are still hopeful for our democracy.
One of the things that's been very inspiring to me is people have come up and they've taken the place of these election officials who have left. We've seen hundreds of new people joining to learn their jobs, to learn about being good election officials. They're committed to ensuring that their communities have free and fair elections.
And like Emily, many have risen to the challenge.
I was born and raised here in Luzerne County. This is where I first registered to vote. I've lived here my whole life. And so that's part of what keeps me here, wanting to help right the ship, making sure that things do get better. Being part of the election process is what I always wanted to do.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.